All right, we'll start in five. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of Wednesday Wisdoms. It's great to see so many people on a Wednesday evening, especially middle of the week. But I'm sure this session is going to be really useful for a lot of people, not only for the upcoming contest, but generally to understand Toastmasters better. I think since the time I have known Toastmasters, I have for a longest period of time admired people like Dhananjay Ettarachi, or whenever I go out and meet people and I say that I'm in Toastmasters, they are like, oh, is this the same organization where Aaron Beverly spoke, or probably where Dhananjay Ettarachi spoke, or probably where Mohammad Khatani spoke? And that's, I think, the way Toastmasters is normally identified, in the general public. And that is because of this amazing contest that we have every year called as the International Speech Contest. I'm sure every Toastmaster who joins probably 2 months into the journey vies for that coveted title, be it club, division, area, district, or even at the grand stage in itself. And with the International Speech Contest right round the corner, we have a very special speaker today to decode that for you. Although this speaker requires absolutely zero introduction, because I'm sure that anyone who has been in Toastmasters for probably over a year absolutely knows this person. Today's speaker is always around. He's in fact almost omnipresent. He's there in every club meeting. He's there in every major Toastmaster event, and has been a mentor to many people, especially me. I remember when I joined Thane Toastmasters Club, the first person that I approached was the speaker for today's evening. And one really real specialty that I would like to tell about today's speaker is whenever there is a contest going on, you will see this person giving feedback to his competitors also. That is how amazing he is as a speaker and as a friend and as a mentor. So, without much ado, let me welcome today's speaker. A brief introduction about him. He is a dual member of Thane Toastmasters and Godbandha Toastmasters Club. He's been associated with Toastmasters for past 2 decades. He's been participating. He believes in participating and doing our best is our commitment. Winning is just a consequences. And he loves watching movies in his pastime. I believe it's slightly sad for him right now because he's really fond of watching movies in cinema halls. In fact, I am a huge movie buff, and every time I go to a movie hall, I bump into him. So please put your hands together as we welcome under spotlight today's super special speaker, Toastmaster N.S. Ramanathan. Distinguished Toastmaster N.S. Ramanathan. Over to you, Ramanathan. Before we start, can I request everyone to put yourself on mute so that so as we normally do, we will start with the session. Any questions you might have at any point of time, you can use the chat box, or we'll definitely have the Q&A session towards the end of the session, wherein you can ask your questions. Right now, I would just request everyone to be on mute so that the speaker, Toastmaster Ramanathan, could really help us with this session. Over to you, Ramanathan, sir.
Good evening, everybody, and wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Raunak. And I'm really pleased to be associated with you. We all see dynamic people in our club, in our area, in our division, in our district, and even beyond the region and all. What is the main thing that is making us so dynamic and so attached to this Toastmasters is our active participation. And this is what I request everybody. You actively participate in the Toastmasters meetings, in the Toastmasters contest, not only in your club, but go beyond the club. And then you will learn a lot of things. And this is how I have walked through my journey in Toastmasters during the last 20 years. I will like to tell you that out of this, the trump card, as we call it, is the international speech contest. So the international speech contest goes from the club level to the area level, to the division level, to the district level, to the regional level, and then there is a semi-finals and then a finals. This is the only contest that goes up to the top level in Toastmasters fraternity, and we are going to see how we can do our best in this particular contest. The contest season is on, and we are going to be contestants or participate in the contest as a role holder. You can be a contest chair, you can be a chief judge, you can be a judge, or you can be a timer, tally counter, or surgeon at arms, as the case may be. But I request each one of you, please participate in the contest in your club as well as outside the club, because it's a wonderful learning exercise. Now we shall go into the PowerPoint presentation that I have made so that we can move along with the PowerPoint presentation. I'll be making it interactive, and in between I'll request Toastmaster Raunak to unmute everybody so that we can have some interaction.
Sure, definitely.
Thank you, sir. Let us move forward, and today's Wednesday Wisdom Series. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and let us move to the next slide, please. What are the skills we develop as we participate in the contest? Is we start learning how to speak from the heart by observing the contestants, and also by ourselves practicing to speak from the heart. Because speaking from the heart helps us, next point, connect with people. That is the bottom line. Whenever you are on stage, what is the fundamental thing is know your audience and how to connect with them. And when you speak from the heart, you really connect with the people. Whether, because I have had my experience in Saudi Arabia, in Oman, and also in India, and I have seen that you should know who the audience is, and then accordingly plan your connectivity. But when you speak from the heart, it connects with irrespective of whoever they are. And then use imagery words. What is the necessity to use imagery words? Because you make the people visualize what you are talking. And this is another thing which you learn when you participate in the contest, because you see the contestants, different contestants using different visualization words. And that is what is the magic in connecting with the people. Go to the next one, please. Persuasive techniques. How, when there is a conflict, you can persuade the others to look at your point of view. This is something we learn in this particular contest. And different people have different ideas. And you will say, okay, we should have been very emotional when we give an international speech contest. But that is not the case to be, because somebody with a lot of sense of humor also can do very well in an international speech contest. That is how we will look into that. Go to the next one. Influencing by inspiring. You give your own stories, how you overcame the difficulties in your journey of life, and then you speak about that to influence the people. I still remember in one of the district conference in the Gulf, when all the countries from Jordan, Lebanon, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Oman, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, all of them came together, and in that particular contest, district level international speech contest, there was a lady of 69 years old, and she spoke about the cancer journey for 17 years of her life, and she spoke from the heart, and she would connect with the people. So she was not very good in English. Her English was having a lot of trouble because her native language was not English. But still, she was able to do a wonderful job, and she got the third prize in the district level contest because she gave her own story, and she influenced the people, inspired the people because of her life journey. Go to the next slide, please. Now we are going to look at the contest marks that is going to be given. Ravna, you can put the whole slide. That's not a problem. We don't have to go point by point in this. Okay. No, go back, please. Yeah, speech development. Speech development carries 20%. So what is speech development is all about? It is structure a speech around a purpose. You have to decide what you want to speak about, and then you structure the speech around that. You should have naturally in any speech, as you all know, it should have a good opening, body, and conclusion. And that body should have examples. It can be personal example, it can be historical examples, and you should have facts and figures. You can do some research on the subject you are going to talk about and bring those also into the picture. And you build credibility by personal stories. We go to the next point, please. Next slide, please. Raunak, are you there? Hello. Yeah. Effectiveness, how you speak and how you hold the interest of the audience makes a big impact. And also you have to give a takeaway to the audience. That will be what is they will retain in their brain. Even after some time, they will say, oh, I remember this speech. Wonderful. And then you should feel the emotions when you talk about it. Unless you bring the expressions and emotions in what you talk, the effectiveness will be reduced and you will lose the marks on this 15%. Can you go to the next slide, please? Appropriate to the audience. Go back. There is one point left out. Go back. Yes. This is what I was telling. Appropriate to the audience is very important. The topic selection and it should relate to the purpose. I still remember one person I was saying, I think it was from Syria, and he was taken a topic which was about preaching. Now, preaching is slightly we should avoid religious things, as we always say, uh, avoid religion, sex, and politics in this Toastmasters fraternity. He brought something like a preaching which was associated with the Arab world, but the audience was actually multilingual in the Gulf, and so it did not gel well. So we have to be very clear on the topic selection, which is going to go for a general topic. That is what is best in the international speech contest. But you can narrate it in your own style, and it should be relating to the purpose for which what you want to convey to the audience. This is very important. You have to keep in mind always what is that you are going to give to the audience. That is your purpose. Whether you're going to give them a takeaway, what is the takeaway, and then you go ahead. Go to the next slide, please. The speech value that is carrying another 15%. I can go on blabbering so many things about mine, but how is it meaningful to the audience and how it can be original, cultivated to the audience? This is very important. And that is why we say that take your personal story, because your personal story is not known to most of the audience. So they will be more interested in knowing what happened in your life, how you overcame the situation courageously and convincingly. So you connect with audience by interactions, humor, twist, dramas. These are the things we bring in a 5 to 7 minute speech and make them feel, yes, they are part of the whole show that we are presenting to them. Make it simple. Don't use bombarding words and make it believable and credible. So as they will be convinced, yes, this could have happened. Otherwise, they will not think, how can this happen? He is just doing a tall tale. Tall tale, you should not do a tall tale. You should be doing an international speech which is convincing to the audience. Go to the next. Now the first three slides, I'm sorry, I'm adding up that. The first three slides have the content part of it. This is all the content. Content takes 50% of the marks. So your content should be very strong because it is capturing 50% of the marks. Keep it in your mind. Connect with your mentor. Make the speech, rehearse the speech, write the speech again and again till you are convinced that, yes, I am going to do it very well. This is very important. The content part of it is very apt and it should be very useful to the audience. When we go to the physical part of it, which is the delivery part of it, we have to have good gestures, the right facial expressions, correct body positioning, lovely eye contact. I am told that on the online meetings, if I have to have a correct eye contact, I have to look at the camera and not at the screen. So when I look at the camera, the audience will feel, yes, I am talking to each one of them. Are you all feeling that? Can we unmute everybody for a minute, please?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes,
You have to
people
now
are
tell
unmuted.
me, okay, good. You can tell me whether I am looking at you. You feel that I'm looking at you?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Yes, very much.
Fine.
Yes.
This is something I'll tell you. I was a target speaker in one of the contests, and out of 6 contestants, 4 of them told me, sir, You are not looking at the camera, and we did not feel that we had an eye contact. So this online meeting has got some special criteria which we'll have to manage. People even said that, sir, you stand and talk, that will give more impact, but I'm still not used to it. So what I suggest to the contestants and the people here is try to practice standing and talking to the audience in online meeting. It gives a better impact. Raunak can add a few words on that, please.
Sure. So I think one of the my learning has been that decide a well lit position, like a well lit area, stand slightly behind so that at least your torso, you can your body till your torso can be seen, so that you have ample space around you to make proper body gestures, hand movements, and you can actually accentuate and punctuate your points better using your complete body. That's about it.
Thank you very much. So we go back to that, and we have to have good gestures. I remember one thing when somebody was talking about life is like a roller coaster. It goes up and down. Instead of that, he said goes up and down. His hand was down when it should have been up. And this is one point I still remember. And I tell people, be very careful. Why this mistake? Because of lack of practice. So when you start practicing with the words that you use and the action, the gestures will synchronize and also bring the right expressions on your face. Especially when you are having a conversational situations in your speech, have the expressions. I still remember in one of the speech when I was giving about retired unhurt. In that, my father was interacting with the student. My father is a teacher. So he was interacting with the student. At that time, that student, Amarnath, brought a big stone to put it on my head of my father. Then he said, sir, I'm going to kill you. Look, Amarnath, you can't kill me, but you have to face the consequences. You will be put to jail and hung to death. Are you crazy? So you see the expressions on the face coming with the vocal variety. That vocal variety will come to the next point. Let us go to the next slide, please. The voice. This is what I was. Go back, please. Your voice should be flexible. You give variety and you stress on some points, some words, so bring more impact. And you pause. You don't go very fast. I am told many a time people have told me, Rama sir, you went quite fast. We couldn't catch up some of the words. And in online meeting, online contest, I request all of you to reduce your pace. Go a bit slow because of this connectivity. Some people, some words may not be able to be heard by the audience. So this is one valuable thing we have to note down, that when we are talking in an international speech contest, especially, we have to have each word specifically uttered in such a way, and the pace of the sentences should be made in such a way that the audience is able to grab the words properly and understand exactly what we want to convey. And pause at the right places. That again comes by practice. And I suggest that you practice, if possible, online with your friends and get suggestions from them. That will definitely improve your performance. This is something you'll have to think about it. Go to the next slide, please. The manner which you say, that is very good. See, you have to have that confidence in you. Yes, I am going to give a wonderful speech, come what may. Forget about winning the prizes. So that energy will come when you are confident that you are going to do a wonderful job. And that comes again by practice. And enthusiasm, that should enthusiasm. Whenever you're talking about a subject, you should be enthusiastic. You should feel strong about the subject. If I feel that this pondium, this whole corona has been a bad experience, and somebody says, what is corona's effective good things? I may not be able to convey it that well when my mind is saying corona is a very bad experience. So when you are going to talk on the stage, you have to be convinced about what you are talking. And when you are giving your personal examples, it will come wonderfully well when you have that enthusiasm. Have that enthusiasm when you talk about it. And you have to evoke interest in the audiences about what you're saying. How we evoke interest, I'll come to that later. One of the methodologies is storytelling. We'll come about that later. Go ahead, next. Language carries 20%. Remember that. Though many of us may be native, studied in the native language, we are thinking in our native language and talking in English. It happens that sometimes the correct words may not be used. The people who have studied in convent schools have got a better handling of the topics. Then this also again, we have to put the right words which we are convenient with, and not the words which we are not able to pronounce properly. These are a very important part of it. You have to have good grammar also. So what I suggest is have short sentences. When we had the competent communication manual in the old curriculum, there was something which said that how to write a speech, and that they were telling that write short sentences so that you don't get complicated with long sentences. And especially it's good for people like us. I am coming from Malayalam medium, so you can understand many a time my pronunciation will look like I am a Kerala. Though I am speaking English, it will be sounding like Malayalam. So that part of it you will have to improve slowly and steadily. So these are the things you'll have to look into it. So the language carries 20%. Go to the next slide, please. Get ready. All of you are ready? Yes. Have a positive mental state when you come on the stage. Yes, I am going to blast it. That is it. And don't worry if you are the contestant number 9 and there are 9 contestants, you are the last contestant, and you hear all the contestant speech and you feel, oh God, he has done so well, Raunak has done very well, Sriram has done so well, Santosh Shekela has really done a superb job. And if you go on stage with that idea and mindset, believe me, you will not succeed. So don't do that. They have done their best. Let me go ahead and do my best. So that sort of a positive mental state is very important. And what I suggest is when you go on stage, take a deep breath, look at the audience, give a smile. And last but not the least, remember the timing. Take 5 to 15 seconds for all this, and then you start speaking about the subject. Go to the next slide, please. Timings 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, 7 minutes red. 30 seconds grace on either side. I always request all my mentees at the end of 6 minutes, you should start moving towards the concluding part of it. Because many a time when you practice at home or in front of the people, you will find that you are finishing the speech in 6 minutes 32 seconds or 6 minutes 34 seconds. But when you do on stage, especially online meeting, you have to keep a 30 seconds for that. So what happens is make your speech in such a way when you practice that it is over at 6 minutes 40 seconds. So automatically when you go on stage, you will finish the speech by 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 seconds, 7 minutes, 20 seconds. So you are within time and you get qualified. Don't please get disqualified because of timing. There is something I request all my mentees and I request all of you, take care of the timing when you practice. Generally, the thumb rule is for a 7-minute speech, 700 words. I am speaking a little fast, so I can go maybe up to 750, maximum 770 words. For somebody who's going very slow, you should be at 650 words. Even if you finish your speech in 6.5 minutes, but you have all the ingredients of the contest requirements, believe me, you will win. If you don't win the prize, you will definitely win in the hearts of the people who listen to you. Go to the next slide, please. Now we go to think of a topic for topic selection, entertaining, informative, inspirational, persuasive, or a combo of these things. Now let us go and listen to world champions, one of the world champions speak for 5 to 7 minutes. Raunak, are you ready? Can you
Yes.
put the video, please?
Yes. Which one are we starting with first?
The 2019 champion.
Okay.
You can introduce the speaker there before we start. You have the link, right? Or you want the link
Yeah,
from
yeah.
me?
No, I'm just sharing it.
Okay.
Okay. Um,
This is going to be our world champion for 2019, Aaron Beverly. What was the beauty of the speech? We'll discuss after we hear him. This is going to be a 5 to 7 minutes full session because this is one of the unique speech I have heard in the international speech contest. Raunak, can you start playing it?
Yes. Can you hear
Okay, sir.
this?
Yeah. Can everybody hear the
Can you
speech?
raise the volume, please,
Hello?
Ronak?
Yeah.
The contest chair was relieved. My title is only 3 words long.
The volume is full.
Okay.
But friends,
okay.
why
raise
is
ours.
this story
Thanks.
unbelievable? June 2018, I fly to India to attend the wedding of my friend Brandon and his fiancée, Devika. Brandon
Can
and family
everybody hear
are
it?
white, Devika and family
Yes.
are Indian.
Okay.
And I am the only black man there. I can't help but feel different. But I try my best to blend in. I buy formal Indian wedding attire. What do you think? I even participate in a sacred Indian wedding ritual, protecting the groom's shoes. During the car ride to the wedding, my friend Sunit explains this ritual. When Brandon takes off his shoes during the ceremony, Devika's bridesmaids will try to steal them. The groomsmen protect the shoes from the bridesmaids. If they win, they hold the shoes ransom, forcing Brandon to buy them back. It's a game, Sunit says. I think it sounds like a spy movie. Sunit says, Aaron, the bridesmaids will try sweet talk, they will try deception, but don't give the shoes to anybody. Will you accept this mission? Quick fact about me. When I am given a mission, I take it very seriously. I look at Sunit and I say, I accept the mission. At the wedding ceremony, Brandon takes off his shoes. I swoop in, grab the shoes, sit down in the front row. Smooth, stealthy. I feel like a black James Bond. The leader of the bridesmaids walks over. She smiles at me. But gentlemen, have you ever seen a girlfriend or wife smile, yet at the same time, you just felt scared? I call her the ominous smiler. She says, Aaron, you look very handsome today. I say, thank you. Could you pass me Brandon's shoes? No. Sunit said the bridesmaids will try sweet talk. Don't give the shoes to anybody. But Aaron, she says, that's against Indian tradition. When I hear that, the global ambassador within me gets nervous. I don't want to cause an international incident over a pair of shoes. I can see the headlines. Idiot ruins wedding and India-US relations. I almost hand over the shoes, but remember Sunit. They will try deception. Don't give the shoes to anybody. I say no again. Then the ominous smiler, she moves closer. She says, and I quote, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. But you will give us the shoes. I am now scared for my life at this wedding. However, I must protect the shoes because when I have a mission, I take it very seriously. So I curl over in my seat, I press the shoes against my chest, and this is how I watch the wedding for the next 30 minutes. The ominous smiler tries to steal the shoes, but I hold firm. Then she disappears for 20 minutes before taking a seat to my right. She says, Aaron, I don't care about the shoes anymore. You win. I say, do I look like a fool to you? But she doesn't move. I think I won. Sunit runs over. He's ecstatic. He says, Aaron, I'm proud of you. I say, thank you. You took this mission very seriously. I say, that's right. Now, give the shoes to me. No. Sunit said, don't give the shoes to anybody. The ominous smiler disappeared to recruit backup, and I know a traitor when I see one. Then the ominous smiler pounces. She starts pulling my arm. Sunit joins her. 2 versus 1. They pull, I pull, but I hold firm. The other bridesmaids run over. 5 versus 1. They pull, I pull, but I hold firm. The other groomsmen run over. I think, yes, the cavalry has arrived. But they joined the bridesmaids. 8 versus 1. They pull, I pull, but I hold firm because when I have a mission, I take it very seriously. They said, Aaron, just give us the shoes. I said, never! Keep in mind, the wedding is still going on. Devika's family is watching the ceremony as if nothing else is happening. I start wondering, is this normal? Then the ominous smiler signals the wedding photographer. And this dude is huge. He puts down his camera. Then he starts charging. He jumps on top of me. 9 versus 1. They pull, I pull, but I lost the shoes. Brandon paid 10 times what those shoes were worth. But what makes this story unbelievable is not the shoes, nor the events. It is the context behind that game. That game is designed for the families of the bride and groom to get to know each other, which means that among white and Indian families, a different, lonely black man was accepted like family too. We experience so much divisiveness nowadays that acceptance despite difference seems unbelievable. But there are people who still believe in it. Do you? Open your culture, your mind, your heart to people who are different from you. Show the world that acceptance, despite difference, is not an unbelievable story. This is your mission. Take it very seriously. Contest chair.
Thank you, Raunak. Let us unmute everybody for a minute. Let us discuss this particular speech with everybody. Can everybody be unmuted, please?
Yes, I think everyone can unmute themselves and
Can start. Okay.
discuss.
I see Sunil Yadav. You got 15 seconds to say 2 or 3 words about the speech. Maximum 1 sentence.
Yeah, it was excellent actually. The topic was to actually explore, just open the cultures for everybody and be open to accept everybody and everybody's culture basically. And it was in a very humor way. So it was a serious matter, but presented in very comedical or humor way. So it was a very good.
Thank you. What about Sangeeta Parmar? What is your opinion on the speech?
So the speech is very as Sunil Yadav sir said, is very serious topic, but he present in very respectful manner. Like it's nice to me. Like I like this.
Right. One thing I want to tell you, when you're talking online, your camera should be so that we can see your whole face. We can see only up. Now it is better. These are the things we'll also learn as we go along. Okay. Who else?
Rama sir, what I would suggest is people can raise their hands and we can ask them probably so that it would be faster.
No,
So
I find that there are many people who are not unmuted. I'm calling people who are muted. I mean, there are
okay.
many people who are muted. There are very few people who are unmuted. The moment they are unmuted, I feel they are interested in talking. That's why I'm calling them. Okay, Rahul Dharankar is there. He is raising his hand. Yes, Rahul.
Hi. I have gone through this earlier also. So I see this is the kind of presentation he has. Basically, is very good in the sense of storytelling. It's the first thing, and it is very engaging. So it creates curiosity step by step. What is going to happen next? and that's how he kept engaged ourselves when he was delivering his speech. That's what I feel.
I'll take two more people. Paresh Ashar, can you please?
Hi, everyone. Yes, my reaction to this is that this is excellent storytelling, driving home a sensitive point about cultural differences and how we should accept and be part of the mingling of the cultures.
Thank you. Abhijit Nagarale, are you there?
Yes, sir. So what I found is the message was very critical, but he made it so expressive, and there was a lot of mix of gestures and correct body positions and all those actions. What he was doing, it was very engaging to the people. So that's
Thank
what I
you.
see. Yeah.
I've seen other people who are interested. I'll come back to them later. Let us move to the next slide. Rana, can we go out of the video and to the slides, please? We can all mute yourself, please.
And taking hit after hit, I was
Okay.
ready to throw in the towel.
What is that?
I was down for the count.
Some other
6,
video is playing. I can hear that.
8.
Go back, Raunak.
Can you see this slide?
No, go to the earlier slide.
When
Raunak, there is audio coming, some other audio, some movie or something.
Go to the back. I think we are a bit ahead. Can you go back?
stand back up.
Raunak, can we go to the
It's
earlier
your
slide? Yeah.
family.
Yep.
So think of think of a topic. Correct.
Or did
Now
you
all
hold
of you would have seen there is some audio coming. Everybody
Maybe.
mute yourself.
You've never been knocked down,
Ronak,
but
there
you've
is
seen one of your
No,
family
so
members
I
take a
just
devastating blow.
Video play.
Were
yeah,
you
1 second.
the lifeline that they were reaching out?
Gone now, gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay now.
Yes,
Can
all
we go
good.
to the slides? Yeah, please. Oh, okay, think of a topic. You see this particular person who had discussed about this topic of how he was trying to save the shoes. It was an entertaining, it was an informative, there was a message to carry home. It was persuasive at times and it was inspirational. He made a combo of all these things. The informative fact is coming, many of the audience did not know that such a cultural thing happens in a marriage. And we in India know about it because it was also shown in a very famous movie, Hum Aapke Hai Kaun, if I'm not mistaken, Raunak.
Yes, yes.
So it was taken out from there, but he developed the story to suit the international audience. That was the beauty of it. Go to the next one, please. Next slide. So we have to think of a structure for our speech. It has to be a past, present, and future. This is one method. Another method is a sequential method. First what happens, second what happens, third what happens. If you're talking about a subject which is coming with, let us say, environmental situation or smoking or something you want to speak about, then you will talk about cause and effect. Then you will have an ideas merged into an ABC methodology, A, B, C. And this is what the methodology was used by Aaron in his speech. He used A, what is he doing and why he is there, and only American black in their Indian audience, and how he managed the show. And A, B, C, but in the end he came out, he lost the goal. He was supposed to keep the shoes, but he lost it. It doesn't matter. It was a learning lesson for him. And what is the learning lesson? Was conveyed to all of us, which you narrated, everybody has got it now, that irrespective of the caste, culture, we all should be one humanity. Go to the next slide, please. How to begin? You can begin with a statement. You can introduction to a story. You can question to the audience, joke and quote, or use a prop. So we are going to see two openings of just about 30 seconds to 1 minute, Raunak. We'll play the video and we'll see the two different openings for world winners, champions. Can we go ahead, Raunak?
Yes.
Let us go with the prop, Mohammad Katani. How he used a prop to open his speech. We'll look into that.
1 second.
Yes. Coming?
Yeah. Yeah. I think just give me a moment. Some issue.
Pardon, sir?
Just a minute. I think there's some issue. I'm just quickly sorting it out.
Fine, we'll take it later. You can work
So
it out.
can I start with the other one?
Yeah, Mark Brown with the statement.
Okay.
Our next speaker,
Okay. Can you hear this?
Mark Brown.
Yes.
A second chance.
He was a
A
1995
second
world
chance.
champion.
Mark Brown.
He opens with a statement, a powerful statement. Look at it.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Mr. Toastmaster and friends, that phrase is fairly common. At first look, we automatically draw quick conclusions about people for various reasons. It could be their appearance,
You can stop.
other people's opinions.
So you all see, he just started with this statement, well connected with the title and the topic he is going to talk about. So the audience got immediately, yes, got connected with him. Yes, he is going to talk about a second chance and why a second chance is required in our life. The other slide is ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead with that.
Okay.
Mohammed Quatani, The Power of Words. The Power of Words, Mohammed Quatani.
What? All you all think smoking kills? Let me tell you something. Do you know that the amount of people dying from diabetes are 3 times as many people dying from smoking? Yet if I pulled a Snicker bar, nobody would say anything. Do you know that the leading cause of lung cancer is not actually a cigarette? It's your DNA. You could smoke for years and nothing will ever happen to you. This whole war against smoking is just to restrict the farming of tobacco. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I use these arguments, even though I just made them up, with a group of my friends. And the results, 5 of them believed what I said. 2 of them started smoking. Words, when said and articulated in the right way, can change someone's mind. They can alter someone's belief. You have the power to bring someone from the slums of life and make a successful person out of them. Or destroy someone's happiness using only your words.
We can stop the video. Yeah. So you see a person who is opening with a prop and then connecting it with what he wants to say in a powerful words, good expressions, lovely interactions with the audience. These are the factors that is going to help us to make a good international speech. Let us go to the slide, please. Okay, next one, yeah. Contents in the speech. It should be personal examples. If it is linking with a personal example with a historical example, you can connect it with an historical example. You can go for stories like what you have seen in this full speech. You have to have jokes, intermittent humor injected if possible, which should be apt. Don't bring in a joke just for the heck of making a joke. Don't do that. It should be synchronizing with your speech and moving along. And you can use a code to authenticate what you are saying. Many a time I have seen we have when we explain our Toastmasters experience, it comes from our heart because it is our experience. Each Toastmaster has got a different experience in Toastmasters, so you can bring it into speech if it is going to convey what you wanted to convey. Go to the next slide, please. And when you go to the conclusion, you should remember there are many methods of concluding. You can reassert the point of view what you have said, which Mohammad Khatani does it again in the end of his speech. He will show again, take a lighter and a cigarette, and he will close the speech. You can summarize what you have said. This is one method of concluding. You can leave the audience with a question. For example, I did it. Can you? So the people will start thinking, yes, if Raman can do it, why can't we? That is the thing. You can go quote or go for a single liner to conclude. Mark Brown concludes with a single liner there. You can close the loop. You can open with what you have said and again conclude with the same thing. So these are the things which you can do it. What our person who spoke for 7 minutes said was, he summarized only from the story. He took the objective which we want to say, the message he wanted to clear, and he summarized only that part of it. He didn't go back to the story again. You would have seen that. So that is a technique also we can use. Now let us go to the final. Next slide, please. What are the criteria for a good speech? OBCS. This is something which I took from our DTM Brilliant. He said, Rama, you can use this, no problem. Because I find this is a very important factor in your thing. Opening, body, closing, and then stories. Because stories connect with the people wonderfully well. And that is how you have to bring your personal story or historical story and make it click. Go to the next slide, please. Okay, if you have any questions, you can, this slide can be circulated by Toastmaster Raunak later. And go to the last slide. You could all hear the claps. I put it there purposely so that you will all clap for me. Thank you very much. Session is ended. Any questions?
Right.
We'll go for the question and answer.
So what we are going to do is we have like 10 minutes. So we are going to open the floor for question and answers. So either people can raise their hands or put it in the chat box, and we'll take the questions one by one. So we have Abhijit who has raised his hand. Abhijit, is this from the previous question or is there a new question here?
New question.
All right,
I have
go
one
ahead.
question.
You can
Yeah.
ask.
So Ramnath sir, I have one question. There is a it should be entertaining, informative, inspirational, and then persuasive. So I'm not really clear on that persuasive thing. So can you please guide me on this?
Okay. For example, Aaron's speak was more of persuasion than inspirational. Inspirational comes when you are telling something story like Gandhiji. He inspires people to bring it. This person is telling his own story, and then you are persuaded. Yes, we have to be tolerant to the other communities, other caste, other creed, white or black. It doesn't matter. He is persuading you through your story. That is how you do it.
Okay. Okay.
Next.
Thank you.
Next question. I'll take 4 more questions. That will be fair enough because we'll have to close at 9.
10.
Sorry, 10. I was just testing your listening capacity. This is how we make up for it.
Right.
Okay,
So actually, there is one question which I had since
okay, go ahead.
often we have been told, and in fact, even in your presentation, you said that there has to be humor, a little bit of humor in the speech at least. Now, what if I'm giving my speeches super motivational or inspiring, and it's an out and out and emotionally tough topic to speak about, and it's more emotional, and there is no scope for humor? Then what do we do?
Nothing. You don't have to bring in humor. You have to bring in humor only when it is apt. You have to bring in the jokes only when it is going to synchronize. I remember in one of the world champion speeches, he talked about the death of his father. I don't remember which year it was. He put the chair down, and that was the body of the father. Now, in that, when he comes home, how he are not connected with his father, he went ahead, and I think he got the second prize in the international world champion. So that this thing is there, video is there. Let me search and get it for you. There is no humor.
Okay.
So don't inject humor for the sake of humor. Don't do it. It will not go well with the audience, on the judges also. They will downgrade you.
Got it. Got it.
Any other
So we
question?
have one question from Yogesh. He asks, is it okay to quote something of other, basically, can you quote any other language apart from English while giving a speech?
Yeah, you can do that, but you have to translate it and also mention who is the person who is given the quote. You should give the credit to the person. You should not just say, if you don't remember, you can say, someone has said this, like that you can say, but still, you have to say that it is not your original, because you have to remember one thing in international speech contest, 75% of your content should be original. It cannot be copied. Otherwise, you will be disqualified for originality. So this is something you'll have to remember always in international speech contest, humorous speech contest. It is okay. In table topics, nobody will know what you are talking about. How they will connect original or not will not know. You know, it is very tough to know. Even, but I have seen one person copying from a table topics video, and he did it very well, and he got the second prize. But only if you are regularly watching videos, you will know these things. Otherwise, you will not know. But in the international speech, definitely ensure that more than 75% of your speech is original. And how you can bring originality? Bring your own story. It is a true story or is a concocted story, it doesn't matter. But you should talk so confidently and so convincingly that the audience should connect with you and they should carry home a message. That is the bottom line. Any other questions?
So Anirudh asks, what to do in a scenario when one goes blank or clueless?
Okay. One of the things that I do is I smile and look at the audience and say, then when I connect after, it comes back to my mind and say, it happens in life. We just become blank in challenging situations. Like what happened to me now? It happened to me once. That is why I could remember this. I went ahead with that. It was in a humorous speech contest. So people thought that I have done it purposely. Actually, it happened. I forgot. It took a few seconds for me to catch up. And I changed the whole speech after that. And my mentor was shocked because the speech I had sent to him for the humorous speech and the speech I narrated on the stage were entirely different after 2.5 minutes. It happens. So what are the things that I suggest is the 4 P's. Remember this. Plan your subject, plan your speech well, the situations, everything. Prepare it, write it down, connect with your mentor, send to him. Then practice very well. See the timings, how much you're doing. Are you able to bring the expressions on your face? Are you able to bring the voice modulations? These are the things you will work on and then ultimately present. So you have to remember these 4 P's. Plan, prepare, practice, present. Yes, Abhijit has got one more question.
Ramnath sir, one more question.
That's the last question I'll take.
Yeah.
There's one more question from Sunil also. So we'll take Abhijit and Sunil's question and we'll end the session.
Okay.
In an international scenario, it is still okay to keep some notes along with you, some presentation kind of thing.
The rule is that nobody will help you. You will have to make your own arrangements, and you've got only 1 minute within the break of one speaker and another speaker to make whatever arrangements you want. You can take the help of surgeon at arms and do it. And PowerPoint presentation, before the rule was somebody can help you, but I think the rule has changed. I'll have to double check on that. You yourself will have to operate the PPT. Now I'm taking help of.
Keep a paper piece with you, no issues?
No.
Not allowed. Okay.
Not allowed.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Next. So we have one last question from Sunil. Sunil, the question is, in case of delivering the speech, story is good and engaging, but if it doesn't bring positivity, then what to do? Sunil, anything to add to that question?
Yeah, just to add, means suppose the story is a good, engaging, entertaining, but it is not very favorable like a social topic or something which is promoting some social welfare or something kind of thing. Means you are going against the uh, some topic which actually encourages the social activities. Then what happens in that
You are
case?
not supposed to bring politics, religion, and sex in your topic.
Suppose I'm promoting. Suppose no. Suppose I'm just talking about the story and it is not even say it is not opposing the smoking habits. Then in that case,
You are going to talk for smoking or against smoking?
again for smoking.
You are going to speak for smoking. So bring a story where there is a positivity that somebody
Yeah.
who spoke made money. For your information, there is a person who used to smoke a lot. This happened in 1972 or 73. And cigarette companies wanted to cut costs. Now, before, if you go back, if you see a cigarette packet, the plastic, there is a red line on the packet, which you have to tear like this. Then only the plastic will open. Then you can open the box and take the cigarette. This gentleman who was smoking 40 cigarettes a day, he found the solution. And instead of the red line going from in this direction, he made it in this direction. So vertical to horizontal he made, and it saved millions of dollars for the cigarette company. And he could do it because he was a smoker, and incidentally he was an Indian. So if you bring that story, smoking helps in life. But all the smokers, like our Katani said, Mohammed Katani said, all the smokers, they don't die. So how you bring the story to convince? It can be against the majority of the audience, but the judges will not go on that. Judges will go on the criteria given. Is it
Okay.
logical? Is it got a good opening, good body, good conclusion, good stories, connectivity? You're interacting with the audience well. You ask the audience, how many of you are smokers here? And if you find many of them are smokers, that proves my point. Smokers enjoy life better than others. This is a very high debatable. In many places, we have had debates in Toastmasters, and smoking is one of them in the Gulf, because Gulf is one of the biggest market for smokers. Okay. Any other question? Otherwise, we'll wrap it up.
I think it's almost 10 o'clock on the clock right now. So
Yes,
we
sir.
will end this
Thank you.
session. Thank you so much, Ramanathan sir, for doing this, taking this session. It was really a super helpful session. You packed so many things in this 1 hour of session that I think there are a lot of takeaways, especially breaking down the entire scorecard and actually giving realistic and practical tips for each section. So I think we have a lot to learn from this session. Thank you so much for taking time out. What we'll do is we will officially end the session right now. So thank you so much everyone for joining in and making this Wednesday Wisdom session again a super successful one. We'll have the next session after a fortnight. The dates and the topic will be announced very soon. We will probably hang back for about 5 to 10 minutes. Anyone who has questions, Rama sir, if that's okay with you, we can probably quickly have about some sessions, some questions. Yes, sir.
Before we conclude, I want to thank the division, all the three divisions, and you especially for giving me this opportunity. Just sharing my experience in life, and this is how we lead life. We share our experience, and it becomes learning lessons for us. We discuss with people, we also learn from them. This is how life goes on. I request all of you, stay safe, stay healthy, and move on in life, come what may. This is what international speech is all about. Move on, come what may, face the obstacles, face the failures, don't worry about it, face the challenges, but move on with courage and conviction and confidence, and you will achieve your goal, come what may. That is the beauty of the international speech. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Raunak. Back to you.
Thank
I
you,
will
thank
stay
you,
along.
sir.
I will stay along after the meeting.
Thank you for those wise words. I think no Wednesday wisdom is complete with such wise words. So with that, we have officially drawn this session to a close. But we still have about 5 to 10 minutes. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and just ask the question. Rama sir is right here to ask.
Hi everyone, very good evening. This is Paresh Asher.
Yeah.
Hi Paresh. Please go on.
Yes, correct.
So I first want to thank this team for sending this invite. I'm so glad to participate. I have one question for Ramanathan sir.
Yeah.
Is the speech supposed to be submitted in advance? Is the text or the transcript of the speech supposed to be submitted in advance?
To whom?
To the contest chair or to the,
No.
the evaluators?
Only the title.
Okay.
See, there are sometimes eligibility criteria.
Mhm.
For example, in the pathways, we have to complete level 2. If you don't complete level 2, you cannot participate in international speech contest. This
Okay.
is something I have not mentioned in the presentation, but this